gosh, what an absolutely
That's
massive
why we
play to
all
start the
play.
game.
Is he going to get the one shot? He gets the one-hit KO!
Hey everybody, welcome to Pokemon Feet, Pokemon facts, Easter eggs, and trivia. I'm going to try to teach you something you don't know about the Pokemon series, but if I fail, whatever. Let's do it. Ceylon, Chili, and Cress are the first gym leaders in Pokemon Black and White. Similar to the typing triangle of the starter Pokemon for each generation, the Pokemon the Trial Triangle own each check each other. Ceylon's Grass-type Elemental Monkey beats Cress's Water one, which in turn beats Chili's Fire Monkey, whose super affects Ceylon's Grass one in return. Essentially, it's like one big game of rock, paper, scissors. Well, that's funny, because these trainer sprites each show them with a different hand sign for rock, paper, scissors. Chili holds rock, Ceylon wields paper, and Cress, scissors. Satoshi, Ash's name in Japanese, is clearly a reference to Satoshi Tajiri. You know, the guy who created Pokemon. But what you may not know is that Brock, called Takeshi in Japanese, is actually named after Takeshi Shudo, who is best known for being the chief writer of the Pokemon anime, including the Kanto, Orange Islands, and Johto arcs, as well as being the writer for the first 3 Pokemon movies. They called Brock's character Takeshi in his honor. You may have noticed the incredible amount of Poison-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 1. In fact, by Gen 6, over half of all Pokemon that are Poison-type were introduced in the first generation. That being said, Gen 1 only introduced one pure Grass-type Pokemon, believe it or not. Any guesses? If you said Bellsprout, you're wrong. The answer is Tangela. Ew, Kecleon. What even is that Pokemon? Anyway, the fins on Kecleon's back are actually absent in its official Sugimori artwork, as well as its black and white front sprites. And yet, they're present in all of its other incarnations. Go figure. In the Pokemon games Heart Gold and Soul Silver, there's an event surrounding Celebi and the Ilex Forest Shrine in which the player is transported first back in time to see Giovanni leave his son Silver after being defeated in Kanto, and then further ahead in time to battle and defeat Giovanni in order to prevent him from reuniting with the rest of Team Rocket during their Goldenrod Radio Tower takeover. However, the English script for the Celebi event never actually states that Silver is Giovanni's son, unlike the Japanese script. Thus, this is a fact that is often overlooked by Pokemon's English-speaking audiences. Let's talk about a couple of moves that don't quite make sense. Despite the fact that Togepi and its evolutions lack a beak or a horn, did you know they can learn Peck via breeding? And how about this? Although it doesn't have a tail, Alakazam can learn Iron Tail. Who else does this remind me of? Can you believe they named one of the Unova badges the Basic Badge? I always thought that was weird. And then I saw the badge itself, and I kinda just gave up. What I never actually realized though, is that the badge isn't just a purple rectangle. It's shaped to look like the spine of a book, and hence why the gym itself is hidden in the back of a library. How cool! Jessie, James, and Meowth are the fearless antagonists from Team Rocket who have been chasing Ash and Pikachu for a ridiculously long time. That being said, we've seen a lot of growth from the trio over the years of blasting off time and time again. Coughing and Ekans evolved, Jessie and James caught new Pokemon, and so on. However, what also took a ridiculously long time was for any of Team Rocket's Pokemon to actually learn a new move in the anime. The first time it happened, you ask? James's Cacnea learns Drain Punch in a tag battle with Gardenia in episode 54 of the Diamond and Pearl series. Diamond and Pearl. We talked about Iron Tail. But let's talk about Iron Fist. Iron Fist is a pretty neat ability. It increases the base power of punching moves by 20%, and it's actually useful enough to see usage in competitive play. Some of the moves that qualify for a boost through Iron Fist are, unsurprisingly, Bullet Punch, Drain Punch, Focus Punch, Shadow Punch, and so on. And yet the ability Iron Fist also applies to the move Meteor Mash. Does that sound like a punching move to you? Well, Meteor Mash counts because the Japanese name for the move is Comet Punch. Despite this fact, no Pokemon with Iron Fist as an ability can actually learn Meteor Mash anyway, so I guess it's kind of irrelevant. And in case you were wondering, the English move Comet Punch is known as Consecutive Punch in the Japanese games, so no, they don't have two different moves with the same name. And to finish up this week, let's throw back to the first generation one more time. Every Pokemon gym has its own unique design. From a simple zigzagging pathway to flying through the air, we've come to expect a different challenge when entering each new gym leader's domain. That being said, Fuchsia City's gym in the Kanto region is designed to resemble a dojo for ninjas. And with a ninja dojo comes ninja traps. If you've played through the gym, you surely would have realized that the whole place is difficult to navigate, as there are invisible walls erected in a maze-like fashion in order to block the player's way. However, if you play the Generation 1 games using a multicolored palette on the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy SP, the walls are completely exposed. Oops. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Pokemon Feet. If you liked it, feel free to let me know with a like or a comment. Both of those are pretty freaking amazing. And if you think you could put up with me again, maybe even hit that subscribe button. I don't know, optional, but it'd be pretty cool. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this week. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope to see you next time on another episode of Pokemon Feet.
Who's that Pokemon?
Foot.
Numel!
Foot.